Good morning once again. We were doing the topic rationalizing factor of irrational number. I'll give the short definition of rationalizing factor, then we'll continue. Last time we had done rationalizing factor of the denominator. Now, what is rationalizing factor? If you got an irrational number, in this irrational number, rationalizing factor has to be multiplied. Rationalizing factor is another irrational number. When you are multiplying these two, the result should come as rational number. Okay, this rationalizing factor is another irrational number. Make sure it should be an irrational number. And when you are multiplying with the given irrational number, the result you are going to get as rational. For this, we are taken, suppose root 2. This is irrational number. It is having a single term that is known as monomial. And monomial's rationalizing factor is same monomial. That means root 2's rationalizing factor is root 2. Because when you are multiplying root 2 and root 2, the result will be root 4, which is equal to 2. It becomes a rational number, the radical sign is removed. Therefore, rationalizing factor of a monomial is same monomial. If I have taken another monomial, consider this is also a monomial. 3 root 2, don't consider it as a binomial. Binomial means these two terms will be separated by either plus or minus sign. If you are getting plus or minus sign in between 3 and root 2, then it is said to be binomial, two terms. But this 3 root 2 is considered to be the single term. And rationalizing factor of this irrational number is same number. But this is already a rational number. Therefore, we don't have to multiply it 3 once again. We'll write this root 2 only. The rationalizing factor of this monomial is its irrational part. Okay, root 2 into root 2 will be 2. 2 into 3 is 6. 3 is already a rational number, and when you multiply root 2 into root 2, it becomes 2, therefore 6. Therefore, we can write a rule: rationalizing factor of a monomial is same monomial. Okay? We will not take the rational part, we'll take only the irrational part. As we got 3 root 2, the rationalizing factor of this 3 root 2 is root 2. Because 3 is already a rational number, we don't have to see that. Root 2 into root 2 is 2. 3 into 2 we got as 6. That is the rationalizing factor. If I ask 7 root 5, rationalizing factor of the 7 root 5. 7 root 5 is again a monomial. This is already a rational number. Therefore, rationalizing factor of this root 5 has to be multiplied. This is root 5. That is 7 into 5, it becomes 35. All these are rationalizing factors of monomial. We have taken till now monomial. Now we'll take certain other examples. Binomial, where the terms are 2. And we have written already the rationalizing factor of a binomial is its conjugate. Suppose we got 3 plus root 2. This is the irrational number we have taken. Why it is irrational? Because we are getting the root sign. Why it is binomial? Because 3 and root 2, they are separated by plus sign. Either plus or minus sign. If they are separated, then it is said to be the binomial. And we have learned rationalizing factor of this binomial is its conjugate. The meaning of conjugate is in between, if you got plus sign, then you replace that by minus. Whatever the sign in between you got, just replace it by other one. If it is plus, then you write minus, and if it is minus, then you write plus. Rationalizing factor will be 3 minus root 2. Now, how it works? Why this is rationalizing factor? We will confirm it. The definition of rationalizing factor says rationalizing factor of an irrational number is another irrational number. When it is multiplied to the given irrational number, we should get the result as rational number. Now we'll find out when you multiply these two, where we are getting the rational number or not. The result we are getting rational number or not. It is in the form of a plus b, a minus b. The formula for a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. 3 square is 9. Root 2 whole square is 2. 9 root 2 whole square, when you're multiplying root 2 2 times, it will be 2. Already we are done. While multiplication of irrational number, I had explained that. 9 minus 2, 7. It is not having root sign. It is 7, which is not having the root sign. That means we got it as a rational number. When we got this as a rational number, when you multiplied this with 3 minus root 2. Therefore, rationalizing factor of 3 plus root 2 is 3 minus root 2. If you got 3 plus root 2, rationalizing factor has to be taken 3 minus root 2. And if it is 3 minus root 2, we have to take 3 plus 2 root 2. Just opposite sign. The sign, whatever you got, that sign has to be replaced. That only you have to keep in mind. We come to the next few questions related to this. In exam, you will get such type of questions. You are not going to get directly the rationalizing factor of a monomial or binomial. I'm taking some examples. Rationalize the denominator of. Rationalize the denominator of. The first is 1 upon root 2. Our aim is to make the denominator as rational number. Okay, 1 upon root 2 is given, and the denominator which is given root 2, that has to be made as rational. How to make it rational? For that, we have to multiply the rationalizing factor. The rationalizing factor of this denominator root 2, which is a monomial. We know that monomial's rationalizing factor is same irrational number. Therefore, the number root 2 has to be multiplied in denominator. But if you are multiplying root 2 in denominator, the same number has to be multiplied in numerator also. Clear? Rationalizing factor of, our aim is to make the denominator as rational. Earlier it was irrational. The denominator was root 2, which is having root sign. That means it has to be made as rational. How to make it rational? By multiplying the rationalizing factor. What is the rationalizing factor of this root 2? We know that rationalizing factor of a monomial is same irrational number. Therefore, root 2 is multiplied in denominator. And if root 2 is multiplied in denominator, we will multiply in numerator also. Whatever we are doing in the denominator, the same number has to be multiplied in numerator also. Now multiply 1 with root 2. We got 1 root 2. Multiply root 2 with root 2. That is 2. See the denominator. Denominator is 2, which is a rational number. We don't have to bother about the numerator. Whatever the numerator is, avoid it. Our aim is to make the denominator as rational number, and we have got that denominator as 2, which is a rational number. This is the procedure we have to follow. I've taken a very simple example. Further, we'll take some more questions. It will be more clear to you. Suppose we have taken 1 upon 7 root 5. Rationalize the denominator. The question is 1 upon 7 root 5. Rationalizing factor of the denominator. Here 7 root 5 is a monomial, single term, because 7 and root 5 is not separated by either plus or minus sign. And monomial's rationalizing factor is same irrational number. We don't have to take 7 because 7 is already a rational number. We multiply the numerator and denominator both by root 5. Why root 5? Because root 5 is coming in denominator. 1 into root 5 is root 5 and 7 will write as it is. Root 5 into root 5 is 5. That is root 5 upon 35. The denominator we got as 35, which is a rational number. So 1 upon 7 root 5 can be written as root 5 upon 35 with denominator as rational number. We have rationalized the denominator. Very often we used to make the denominator as rational. If it is irrational, we make the denominator as rational no matter whatever the numerator you are getting. It may be rational, it may be irrational, but the denominator has to be made as rational number. Now the next one. This is by monomial I have taken. Now I will take certain examples of binomial. If the question is like this, rationalize the denominator of 1 upon root 6 minus root 5. Root 6 minus root 5. This is our aim, to rationalize the denominator of 1 upon root 6 minus root 5. Now, this is a binomial. 6 and 5 are separated by a minus sign. And binomial's rationalizing factor is its conjugate. We have to multiply the numerator and denominator both by the conjugate of the denominator. And the denominator we got root 6 minus root 5. Therefore, what is the conjugate of root 6 minus root 5? Root 6 plus root 5. We have to multiply this root 6 plus root 5 in numerator as well as in denominator. After multiplication, this 1 with root 6 plus root 5, we are going to get root 6 plus root 5. Same number. And it is in the form of a minus b, a plus b. And we have got a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. Clear? That is root 6 plus root 5 upon root 6 whole square is 6 minus root 5 whole square is 5. When you multiply root 6 2 times, the square and square root will be cancelled and you'll get directly 6. Same way, root 5 and square will be cancelled and we are going to get 5. Therefore, this will be root 6 plus root 5 upon 1. 6 minus 5 is 1, or root 6 plus root 5. See, the denominator is here 1, which is a rational number. Therefore, we have learned how to make the denominator as rational numbers by multiplying the conjugate of the denominator if it's a binomial. This was the simple example I have taken. We'll take further certain other difficult question. 1 upon root 7 minus 2. I'm taking some more examples. 1 upon root 7 minus 2. This is again a binomial. And the denominator has to be rationalized. We multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. Root 7 minus, this time we haven't got the root in 2. This is root 7 minus 2. But still it's a binomial because two of the terms are given. One is root 7, other is 2. Rationalizing factor of this denominator, root 7 minus 2, is its conjugate. That means root 7 plus 2. Root 7 plus 2 has to be multiplied in numerator as well as denominator. Clear? We multiply 1 with root 7 plus 2. We got root 7 plus 2 because 1 is multiplied with any number. We used to get the same number. Denominator is a minus b into a plus b. And the formula for a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. This is root 7 plus 2 upon root 7 whole square is 7 and 2 whole square. 2 whole square is 4. This is not root 2 whole square. You don't have to write 2 directly. This is not root 2. This is 2 square. The children used to do the mistake over here. When you multiplied root 7 2 times, we got only 7. Because root and square both will be cancelled and 7 will be left. But not in this case. Here it is not given root 2. It is given only 2. Therefore, square of 2 has to be taken. And square of 2 is 4. If there would be root sign, root 2 whole square, then we would have written only 2. But here this is 2. It is not root 2. Therefore, it becomes root 7 plus 2 upon 7 minus 4 is 3. That's the answer. This is the denominator which we have made as rational number. Clear? Expecting that the questions here understood whatever I made you to write. First, I had explained what is rationalizing factor, how to multiply the irrational numbers, that also I had explained. And after that, step by step, we are following how to make the denominator as rational number. Further, we'll do some more questions, slight complicated questions. I'm taking the examples. I'm taking the example. 6 upon 3 root 2, 6 upon 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. 6 upon 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. We don't have to see the numerator, no matter whatever the numerator is. We have to see the denominator. If the denominator is a binomial, now we have to decide whether it is a monomial or binomial. Two of the term, one is 3 root 2, other is 2 root 3. They are separated by minus sign. Two terms. This is a single term. This is another term. These two terms are separated by minus sign. If they are separated by minus sign, the rationalizing factor of this denominator is its conjugate. And what will be the conjugate of this binomial? The conjugate will be 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3, just opposite side. If you got minus, then you have to take plus, and if it is plus, then you have to take minus. Since we got here minus, that's why we are taking as plus. The same number has to be multiplied in numerator also. Whatever we are multiplying in denominator, the same number has to be multiplied in numerator also. Numerator as well as denominator, both same number has to be multiplied. We don't have to change these. These two should be same. And how we decide this has to be taken? For that, we'll see the denominator. Denominator's sign, whatever is given, in between whatever the sign you got, you replace that sign. Conjugate of that number has to be taken. If it is minus, then you have to take plus. If it is plus, then you have to write minus. In between whatever the sign you got, just take opposite of it. Clear? These are the steps you have to follow. Denominator, you decide whether it is a monomial or binomial. If it is monomial, same number has to be multiplied. And if it's a binomial, then its conjugate has to be multiplied. Since it is a binomial, sign is minus. Therefore, we have multiplied the denominator and numerator both by plus sign. This is plus, this is plus. Now multiply the 6 with each of the terms. 6 has to be multiplied. Till now we had taken in every example, we had taken 1. But here we got the number 6. Therefore 6 has to be multiplied with each of the terms. What are you going to get? 6 into 3, 18 root 2. When you're multiplying 6 with 3 root 2, 6 3s are 18. The rational part 6 has to be multiplied with rational part 3. And since there is no irrational part, directly I have written root 2. Plus 6 into 2, 12 root 3 upon. It is in the form of a minus b, a plus b. The formula is a square minus b square. Always you are going to get in the form of a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square. Clear? Now, 18 root 2 plus 12 root 3 I have written as it is. 3 root 2. Now we have to take the square of 3 root 2. 3 square into root 2 square. Square of 3 is 9 and root 2 square is 2. 9 into 2. Directly I have done this. How we got this? 3 is a rational number and square of 3 is 9 and root 2 whole square is 2. 9 into 2 minus. Take the square of 2, that is 4 into root 3 square is 3. That is 18 root 2 plus 12 root 3 upon 9 2s are 18 minus 4 3s are 12. That is 18 root 2 plus 12 root 3 upon 18 minus 12, that is 6. If it is possible to cancel by some number, cancel it, write it separately. This can be written as 18 root 2 upon 6 plus 12 root 3 upon 6. Separately, we have written the 6 for this number as well as this. This can be cancelled. 6 3s are, 6 1s are, 6 2s are. Therefore, it will become 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. That's the final answer. 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. Clear? Any difficulty over there? Once again, I'll explain this. First, we have taken the rationalizing factor of the denominator 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3. Since it is a binomial, the rationalizing factor of this denominator will be its conjugate. And when you're multiplying the conjugate of the denominator, the same number has to be taken, only we have to change the sign. If it is minus, then you have to take plus. And if it is plus, then you have to take minus. Here we got minus, that's why numerator and denominator we have taken both plus. Now this is 6. The 6 has to be multiplied with each of the term. 6 has to be multiplied with 3 root 2. 6 has to be multiplied with 2 root 3. You know how to multiply the irrational numbers with irrational number. Another set of irrational number we have done. So many questions we have practiced in previous videos. 6 into 3, 18 root 2, and 6 into 2 root 3 is 12 root 3. And the denominator is, as usual, will be in the form of a square minus b square, because we got a minus b into a plus b. Always you are going to get in the form of a square minus b square. Or a is 3 root 2 or b is 2 root 3. No matter whether you are multiplying a minus b into a plus b, or a plus b first, a minus b afterwards. The result is same, a square minus b square. A minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. A plus b into a minus b is also a square minus b square. Same thing, a square minus b square we got. Numerator I have taken as it is. Denominator is 3 root 2 whole square. Now we have to take the square of 3 as well as square of root 2. Square of 3 is 9. And root 2 whole square is 2. Okay, the step you have to keep in mind properly you have to do. We have to take the square of 3, that is 9, and square root of 2 whole square is 2. Radical sign will be removed and directly you are going to get 2. Root 2, when you are multiplying 2 times, you are going to get 2. Same thing. Here also, square of 2, since it is not having the root sign, when you are multiplying 2 times, we are getting 4. And when you are multiplying root 3 2 times, we are going to get 3. Now, the denominator becomes 9 2s are 18 and 4 3s are 12. Numerator we have kept as it is. We simplify the denominator further. 18 minus 12 we got as 6. Okay. 18 minus 12 we got as 6. And here we got 18 root 2 plus 12 root 3. So many children do the mistake, they cancel the 6 by 18 or 6 by 12. In between, if you got plus or minus sign, in this way we cannot cancel 6 with 18 or 6 with 12. If you are cancelling it, both numbers should be cancelled. Okay. Now for that, what you do? You write it individually. 18 root 2 divided by 6 plus 12 root 3 divided by 6. When you cancel this 18 root 2 by 6, 6 3s are 18. 3 root 2 we got here. And when you're cancelling this 12 root 3 by 6, 6 2s are 12. 2 root 3 we got. Therefore, this is our final answer. The denominator we got here as 1, and this 1 is a rational number. This denominator we got as 1. Everywhere we got the denominator as 1. Clear? And difficulty over there? In this way, we can rationalize the denominator of any of the irrational number, irrespective of it's a monomial or binomial. If it's a monomial, the same number has to be multiplied. And if it's a binomial, then its conjugate has to be multiplied in numerator and denominator. Next time we will continue with the same type of few more questions. We try to make the questions slightly complicated, which used to come in the examination. In your textbook, the questions are given very easy. You practice by the time those questions, and if you're having any refresher, the other questions also has to be attempted. One more day I'll take for the same topic, rationalizing factor. And after that, we move to the next topic. Okay, the chapter is almost over. I've started it from the beginning. It's your duty to do all the questions from the exercise. You compare the questions which are discussed in the videos as well as the questions which are given in the textbook. Most probably, I've not taken the same exact question, whatever is given in the textbook. But if you practice, if you attempt the question on the basis of the topic which I have taught till now, you can solve the questions of the exercise. Because in exam, you are not going to get the exact same question. The questions can be changed. Slight changes can be made. Therefore, you practice it of your own. Saturday, you will be having the doubt classes. You can ask all the doubts. Therefore, prepare the questions not only from the textbook, but also from other refreshers. Clear? One more day, I'm going to take for the same topic, rationalizing factor. And after that, we'll do the laws of indices. Later on, we'll take just after this. After that, this chapter will be over. By Friday, I will try to finish the chapter. Saturday, we'll be having the doubt classes. And Monday onwards, we are going to start a new topic. Clear? I hope you understood whatever we have learned today. The topic or the steps in which you are having difficulty, you stop the video there itself and see why sir has written that step. Try to understand that. And if you are having doubt, still if you are having the doubt, then you can go through it on Saturdays. We can do those questions on Saturday. Clear? Now we'll do it next day. Thank you for your cooperation.